Today on Tacos Tuesday, we sit down with Madalina from eComcy to talk about a variety of different things related to PPC. For example, how to do keyword research, how to set up your campaigns, recommendations for launching, and what kind of key metrics to look out for.
How cool is that? Pretty cool, I think. Want to check estimated sales for products you see on Amazon? Or maybe you want to instantly see how many listings on page 1 of a search term result have the actual searched keyword in the title. You can find all of these things out and more with the Helium 10 Chrome extension tool, X-Ray. More than 1 million people have used this tool. Find out what it can do for you by downloading it for free at h10.me/X-Ray. h10.me/X-Ray.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Series Sellers Podcast by Helium 10. I'm your host, Shivali Patel, and this is the show that is our monthly Tacos Tuesday episode, where we talk anything and everything PPC. Today, our guest is from eComcy, which is an Amazon and Walmart ads agency, and our guest is Madalina. Welcome in. How are you?
Shivali, I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad to have you on. I know that we're talking all things PPC. We're going to have some questions kind of filing in, and it's going to be AMA style. But in the meantime, how about we talk a little bit about you? So what you do at eComcy, how you got started in this field, and what have you.
First of all, thanks for having me. I'm super excited. And it's really nice to see everyone just joining from different parts of the world. So I'm Madalina. I've been in the industry for the past 6 years. Doing everything Amazon and then specializing in PPC because I'm more like a data lover, So I started doing PPC at eComcy and now I'm the PPC lead.
And you offer such an important service too at that. PPC is so monumental for any business. So I'm excited to talk a little bit about how you guys kind of approach your PPC campaigns, how you audit, how you optimize. And so let's kind of just dig right deep, right? How does eComcy navigate its PP campaigns? Like when somebody comes to you with their campaigns, what is sort of the first way that you really look at it and audit?
First of all, we would be looking not only at the advertising campaigns, but we would be looking at the products overall and kind of reverse engineer performance. This against to the client's targets. So if we have issues with sales or if we have issues with profitability, we would be basically reverse engineer from there and kind of see like, do we have a PPC order percentage that's too high? Is our organics doing okay? Obviously, we would be using Cerebro and all the Helium 10 tools to kind of like reverse engineer performance, see how we're doing compared to the markets and things like this. When it comes to PPC, so of course PPC plays like a very, very important role, but like my point is that it's not only PPC that goes in here because we kind of like look at performance overall. So at an advertising level, we would be basically assessing main metrics like click rate. Is everything that we put in our ads kind of relevant to our audience? We would be looking at conversion rate, see like if there's anything we can do at a very detailed level when it comes to like placements or things like this. Are we doing negations? Are we doing like all the different kind of placements? Are we doing all the match types? So kind of like going through a very detailed audit to see if basically the client objectives are being reached or not, and if not, what else are we doing in order to reach the objectives?
Yeah, I know I kind of threw you into the deep end there because there are so many different things that are part of the PPC campaigns, right? You have your ad structure. Maybe it's something that's an underlying factor. I do see we have questions starting to roll in. So let's go ahead and start with how to start PPC. So I guess for this question, if somebody is just starting, I know we just talked very briefly about auditing. What about if you're just getting started? Is there a specific campaign structure or like match type, specific kind of ads that you recommend?
Yes, so we'd usually start with the bare minimum, and that would be exact campaigns for your very relevant keywords, right? So we would be using the Cerebro tool in order to find what are your competitors are ranking for, and then we kind of like find your most relevant keywords and start exact campaigns from there. So I think that would be a good start. What I usually like from there from there as well is not to limit only on exact, also do like a broad a broad modifier to ensure like you kind of find the long tails from your highly relevant keywords as well. So that would kind of like ensure you're using the budget in the most efficient way. So that would be the match types I would use. Then at the structure level, like there's a whole debate like how to organize your campaigns and things like this. It's up to you and the tools you'll be using to optimize campaigns. We would prefer to kind of like put all the highly searched keywords in one campaign, because we can monitor them more closely and we can better understand performance. We can change the placements, the day parting, change budgets more easily and things like this. And then for the maybe lower volume keywords, maybe like add maximum, if they're super low volume, I would say maybe like 15 keywords max per campaign, and then try to put them to group them based on intent. So then when you look at a very high level in your advertising console, you understand exactly what performs well, what kind of targets you might want to dial down on, and things like this. There's a lot to start with, but don't get overwhelmed. That's also an advice. Don't get overwhelmed, because even if you start with the exact and doing like broad modifier, you should see some performance. If you don't see performance, then get in touch with us. We can troubleshoot.
Right. I think the most important thing is definitely what you said, is just getting started and then modifying from there. Something that you did mention is budget. I've heard sort of a debate even on that aspect, right? Because some people say you should start with a really large budget per day and then just bid a little bit lower. Some people say just go based off of what you can really work with. So what is your take on that specifically?
So it really depends on your product price and your estimated conversion, because like let's say you have a product priced at $20 and your target A cost, let's say, might be 100% to start with. Your budget could, like for that particular campaign, let's say, might be $20, right? So you can work it out this way. If you have a higher price product, then of course you can work on your budget as well. But I would reverse engineer it from the price of your product and based on your estimated conversion rate.
Good advice. I feel like my broad match campaigns always burn money. So it's always a tricky game getting the right sweet spot. I see we have some more questions, so let's go ahead and pop those onto the page. We have Yazak. He says, I'm about to launch 2 new listings. Congratulations. Any new strategies? Do you have any PPC recommendations for launching? Which keywords do long tail, low search, or high search volume?
For the long tails, I would definitely add your long tails. It's all based on relevancy. So if your long tails are relevant, definitely add them in your campaign. If they are high in search volume, just make sure you start with low bids in order to make sure you can't control the spend. You can always go back and increase bids, but if you wake up with a very high spend, you can't go back on that. So yeah, make sure you set up low bids initially. I would say start with the classic approach. Go and research your competitors, see what they're ranking on, see if there's any sales you can steal from them. with like the highly relevant keywords you'll be targeting, and of course like add those keywords in exact campaigns, and then start with the broad modifier to do like the long tails if you have like a limited budget.
All right, we have, what are the key metrics you are following?
We love conversion rate. We love orders. So that is a key metric we are looking at. Other than that, to define relevancy, we look at click-through rate as well. And down the profitability road, we would look at clicks, impressions, spend, ACoS, total advertising cost of sales, TACoS, and yeah, things like this. So basically a lot of metrics, but the key ones would be basically conversion to assess like how your campaign is going, and then how much traffic you're putting into or you're receiving from Amazon, so impressions and clicks.
Amazing. We also have Ismail, who said how to research keywords. Now, of course, as somebody from Helium 10 can also say, you can check out the Seer Sellers podcast. We have a few episodes that Bradley's done for keyword research, like master classes that you can go in and check out how to do keyword research using Cerebro, Magnet, some other ways. But Madalina, I also want to hear from you sort of how you guys approach keyword research.
Yeah, so we are actually in line with the Helium 10 approach. So we would be, it is very important to look at your market, study your competitors. So find your competitors first, and you can do that by looking at your product features. So the price would be very important, the number of ratings, how established they are in the market, and things like this. So first, find your competitors, then find your keywords based on the competitors, and this is where the Cerebro will come in, and then you'd reverse engineer basically the keywords competitors would be ranking on, and you'd try to go for those particular keywords. Now, in Cerebro, you also have that relevancy column, which you can look at. So basically, try to go for, you basically assess relevancy based on how many competitors would be ranking for your product. So try to look at the keywords that are the most relevant ones in order to prioritize those in your advertising campaigns, and then bid higher on them and try to base your launch strategy on them, basically.
I think what Madalina said is really important. You guys can go in, check out relative rank filters inside of Cerebro or Magnet. But in doing so, in running a multi-ASIN search, you can then go in, check out where you're positioned in accordance with your competitors, and then adjust your strategy. So let's say you have a really great competitor who is killing it, and you see that they're ranking higher than you on a specific keyword. You can use that keyword, adjust your strategy, and incorporate into your listing or into your PPC campaigns. And then vice versa, if you have some of these other filters, you have Amazon recommended rank, you have your sponsored type, you can go in, reverse engineer somebody's PPC strategy. If you're doing a single ASIN search, there's so many cool things to do. So again, make sure you guys go and check out the Seer Sellers podcast I'm talking about with the masterclasses. If you type in masterclass, you should be able to find it. We also have Tassin from Germany. Any Amazon report to check day parting performance and your rank on Amazon?
Yes, so there would be, we have that in Adtomic, and I love the Adtomic performance graph on it. But if you're using Amazon, there is a sponsored product a report you can download. If you go like in basically sponsored products, and then it's the campaign one, and then you have like the hourly. You just have to choose it hourly, and then it will go for the last 14 days. I don't like the fact that it's for 14 days. Only Helium 10 has for 60 days, so I do love that.
All right. We also have Abe, who's responding to something I said about the broad match campaign. He said, Shivali, negate frequently in broad. I do negate frequently, and I use Adtomic. So Adtomic lets you set up rules and suggestions. I suppose I probably need to go in there even more frequently. However, speaking of Adtomic, I hear that eComcy uses Adtomic. So I would love to know a little bit about how you guys use the tool itself for all of your clients.
It depends on the client, on the account, on the brand, on the product. So we don't do like an overall approach. So we would be basically going with some benchmarks, and we would be setting up some rules in Adtomic based on them. So we would be looking at the main metrics we talked about, in fact, like the conversion rate, the clicks, the impressions, overall spend for that particular, for like a particular target. And we would go with those kind of metrics and set up rules, and kind of like if performance is not good based on the category or the product, decrease bid. If performance is good, increase bid, and things like this. We do want like a very because like we put a lot of time into knowing the product and understanding the category and things like this. So then we would be manually going and approving the bid suggestions, because like if the audience doesn't know, like basically what Adtomic would do is to give you some suggestions, bid suggestions, or budget suggestions, or negative keyword suggestions, and things like this. So then we would be manually applying those to make sure like our knowledge is combined with the knowledge we put in Adtomic, and kind of make sure that we understand what kind of actions we took, and then how the results were affected by those particular actions. So kind of like track and measure this way. Yes. So, and again, it would be like, it would depend like on the product, market, category, and things like this, and then on your goals as well. Like if you want to be more profitable, if you want to increase sales and things like this.
We also have another question on the thresholds, since we were talking about the key metrics before. So what are the general thresholds for click-through rate and conversion?
Yeah, I love that question, but it's it will really depend on your category and on your product, because if you can see very big variations from one product to another. I would really throw you off if I were to give you like some benchmarks. I don't know. At some point, it used to be like 0.3, let's say, in click-through rate. Now, let's say we are seeing a little bit of an improvement when it comes to click-through rate, and conversion rate. Again, like it really depends on your product. You can actually see that in you can see like kind of some ideas of of the category conversion rate in the product opportunity explorer as well. Like if you search for the niche, you can basically see the conversion rate for that particular niche.
What is the best metric to use in Cerebro or Magnet to find the most relevant keywords for the product that you are selling?
So what we usually do internally, I know there's now the column that shows you like how many competitors are ranking for that product. We are downloading the report to make sure there's nothing we're missing, and kind of like filter things down and things like this. And we would basically just apply a relevancy formula to better understand, like based on the keyword relevancy as well. So sorry, let me take that from the beginning. Basically, we would be taking like what sounds relevant, we would be clustering that, and then apply a relevancy column from formula from there with the data we downloaded from Cerebro.
I think that answers that. We have explain what is the best match type for PPC, broad, phrase, and exact.
I wouldn't say there's something like the best match type, because again, like it will depend on your product and your target. Exact is the most controlled one. So from a profitability point of view, that's your best, let's say, because you can really like the search terms you would have would be essentially like the search terms you wanted to put in that campaign. Then phrase is good like for an in-between discovery, and then broad is best for discovery. Broad now is super broad on some accounts actually, and on some products. But yes, I would say if you're launching, exact is your best friend. If you're like in a discovery phase and trying to find new keywords, then broad and phrase would also be good friends.
Okay. Now we have Yazak has asked, I found around 80 keywords or phrases relevant to my product. How many exact campaigns would you do or should do? And do you use auto campaign for launch?
Yes, auto campaigns could be good for launch. Again, like depends on your budget, depends on your product and how much you want to invest in discovery. It would be good to set up auto as well, but usually, like if your budget is limited, go with a lower budget and lower bid on auto, just to ensure your budget is distributed nicely in those exact. You've put a lot of work discovering already. So about the 80 keyword phrases relevant to your product. So depends on your search volume, depends like how popular those keywords would be on Amazon. That does sound like a lot of keywords, I would say. That will be like, if you imagine if all your keywords would have one click, and you have like a dollar cost per click, you'd already have 80 in spend only from those particular keywords, only with one click. Depending on your conversion rate, that will obviously be higher. So I would maybe try to filter down a little bit more, but again, depends on your budget and your launch strategy, your product. I would do for the very, very low volume keywords, I would do 10 keywords per campaign. And then for the high volume keywords, or medium volume keywords, I would do 5 keywords per campaign. Then for the very high volume keywords and the ones that you're really trying to go with for the launch, I would do only 1 keyword per campaign. You can control the placements, you can or you can play with the day parting and things like this, because you might have, if they are very high in volume, you might be surprised with how much they could be spending.
So if I sum that up, just for those of you that are listening, maybe 4 or 5 that are very high search volume, very highly relevant, that you do want to rank for, just 1 each in exact match campaigns. And then the medium style ones, maybe 5 keywords per. And then the low would be 10 to 15, I believe is what you said at the beginning, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. On the note of exact, this person's asked the number of keywords in campaign structure. I can see that you avoid making too many single word campaigns. Is there a specific reason for that, like difficulty to manage it or something else?
Yes. So when you start, especially, it is quite hard to manage it if you don't have like a tool like Adtomic. I would say, it would be quite difficult to look manually in each campaign, and kind of apply your bid. So that is the main reason why you wouldn't do too many single search term campaigns. Because just to clarify, actually, you don't mean single words, right? You mean single search terms?
I think it's single search term inside of campaigns. But for any of you guys who don't use Adtomic at the moment and you want a free demo, you can go to h10.me/Adtomic. So that's h10.me/Adtomic if you want to get a free demo of Adtomic to learn how to use it. Hey guys, been working with brand related terms, tried branching out to general category terms, currently running campaigns with limited sales. What should be the strategy here? So
I guess that's where you're taking most of your traffic from. But you're also doing a general category search term, like I would imagine a sponsored product category target. So I would ensure, like, apart from the branded search terms, you also have those kind of product descriptors in your exact and broad plus or phrase. So back to the garlic press example, like if it was a Nike garlic press, let's say you are advertising on all the branded search terms, but also make sure you're advertising on garlic press, so your product descriptor, and then go from there. Again, like, check your competitors, see where they're getting their sales from, do some keywords research, and ensure like you also like do all the exacts that are not related necessarily to your brand. And then apart from like if you're already running only sponsored products, I would also ensure you're doing like sponsor brand videos for your branded search terms, sponsor display, you're targeting your own ASINs, and then you're doing sponsor display targeting, retargeting, that kind of thing. So ensure like all the different advertising types are also being ticked for your branded search terms if that's where you have seen performance.
We do also have whether or not you should run campaigns for competition brand names when you are just getting started, when you're just launching.
Yes, I would. Well, those would be relevant targets. I guess, again, it depends on your budget. It depends like how closely related your competitors would be as well, from a price perspective and from like reviews perspective. If they are very popular on Amazon as well, like how much visibility would they getting out of it, and what's your plan with the launch? Are you planning to steal sales from them, or are you planning to, in fact, like rank on other keywords? So I would, if you're planning to rank on other keywords organically, and those are more like extras, you might want to steal some sales from them, but that's not what your strategy is focused on. I would just run them with very low bids, see how they're working, see like how they could convert. If they would be like, if that's your strategy, if you're stealing sales from, yeah, definitely run campaigns on them. But yes, again, it depends like on the different factors regarding search volume and the metrics I've mentioned.
We have a question here that says we all sell better in some states and worse in others. So is this something that you consider in your strategy? And if yes, how?
To prioritize the market? I'm not sure I'm understanding
I believe this is just more widespread. Let's say you're selling in the US marketplace and you know that your consumers are purchasing more in a given state. Then is that something that you consider?
I guess, yes, you can definitely tailor your strategy based on the different states as well. You won't be able to advertise differently in different states, unfortunately. We hope that will be a feature that will be released soon. But yeah, you can definitely target keywords that are for the different states. And you can potentially like use day parting as well. Like if there is quite different like if the states are super differently from a geographical point of view, and then you might see some performance differences, you could potentially use day parting to tailor that strategy.
So time zones, if you know that certain time zones are selling better than others, then definitely day parting. But outside of that, I think your best bet, if you were going to go that route, is really just external traffic, right? It's going to be Facebook, I think, is where you can actually segment stuff like that out when you're going geographically speaking, if you want to do certain states. But that's completely off Amazon. We have a defensive PPC question. What tactics do you recommend to cover more real estate from your own page? What is your advice to sellers when they have competitors that push very hard PPC on your listing or your product detail page?
We would make sure we are targeting ourselves. So basically target your own ASIN when it comes to a sponsored product, because you'd be basically following the customer throughout the journey. And then it's not only like on your product page, but also kind of like targeting those customers that were interested in your product. And also like target your products like your whole catalog. So make sure you have like a defensive campaign or for all the products in your catalog, and that covers sponsored products, sponsor brands, sponsor brand videos, and sponsored display. It depends like how popular your brand is as well, because like sometimes you might want to, as you say, have like a defensive strategy. Other times you might just want to ensure you're getting sales from it, because the page could be already super cluttered by other search results. And also depends like on your product performance. So let's say you have some products that you're launching right now, and you might not have a great visibility on them. There is a chance you might not even index on those products for your brand names. So I would definitely target the new products to ensure like they are at the top of the search results. You also want to make sure like the customers are not too distracted when they go on your page, right? So make sure that you kind of keep them there and kind of show them what other options they can have from you. Also like make use of the free retail space when it comes to stores, the posts, and publish a lot of posts, so those will appear on your product page. Basically use all the different types of placements on your own ASIN.
So I know we're kind of coming up on time here, but I just wanted to leave a little bit of room to give you some space to talk a little bit about how people can contact you if they want to reach out to you or talk to eComcy.
business@ecomcy.com, and we also offer a free audit. We're happy to look at clients' performance, see how we can help increase their sales with PPC and also like with product optimization. We also do Walmart, so if in case I didn't mention it, so that we are happy to help on that side as well. And actually for the audience here, we are happy to offer a 25% discount for the first 3 months as well. So just let us know if you need any help, and you can get a freebie as well on your first 3 months.
Amazing. So I know you mentioned Walmart really briefly. I know we said we were closing out, but just really quickly, do we have any Walmart sellers here that are watching? And do any of you actually sell on the platform? I'd love to know, because I know a lot of our questions were kind of geared in general or like mostly Amazon based. Thank you so much, Madalina, by the way, for being here. And it seems like people got a lot of value out of it, and I'm excited for this episode to go out. All right, take care.